I'm down at Four Nest Point in Broadstairs. This great big area behind me is dedicated to wildlife. It's great for wildlife down here. And between the houses and the road is a hedgerow. And every year, this time of year, people spot brown tail moth caterpillars in the hedges. And there's been a few spotted here in this little bit of hawthorn. Can you see these little caterpillars in their tent? Now, these are brown tail moth caterpillars and they are native, they belong here, and they're an important food source for birds, especially for cuckoos. The parent brown tail moths, the moths are very distinctive. They're a white moth with a brown bit on the tip of them, the brown tail moth. And they lay their eggs in around about August time, and then they overwinter in a tent-like structure. And then the caterpillars will move around the hedge from their little tents, and they'll leave a little pheromone trail, and they'll go about their business feeding on the hedge, and they leave a pheromone trail so that others can follow them. And then eventually they'll come out as brown tail moths. They do have urticating hairs on them, which can be irritating to get on your skin. However, I've had to march a long way down here to find any tent caterpillars, and I'm not going to be sticking my face right in there and getting amongst all the caterpillars. These tent caterpillars, you really should be admiring them from a distance. If you see them, celebrate them, show your kids them. Brown tail moth caterpillars in our native blackthorn and hawthorn bushes are a great sight to see. And unfortunately, some people are so disconnected from nature, they just instantly see this kind of thing as a threat. Anything slightly creepy crawly, like creepy crawly caterpillars in a tent, often called tent caterpillars, they instantly want to reach for the chemicals and kill them, and that's what's happened over in Broadstairs. Look, there's another one here, and to be honest, it looks like someone's already beat me to it, because a lot of these tent structures are already dead. And these chemicals, these pesticides people use are very harmful to all insects. And we're right next to a biodiversity hotspot of Four Nest Point that is set aside for wildlife. Yet they still think it's okay to come out, this is Kent County Council, and spray insecticide on the hedges just because there's a native creature living in the hedges, the tent caterpillar. So it's a real shame, that whole disconnect from nature and unnecessary fear and misinformation. Yes, the urticated hairs can bring you out in a rash. Just stay a bit clear, don't worry about it, enjoy them, they belong here as much as we do. So yeah, a real mismanagement over here in Broadstairs where they want to come along and spray insecticide on them. We need our wildlife. Insects have declined by 78% in 20 years. And you have to look for these to find these. No one's getting injured by these brown tail caterpillars, and we find them every year. If you see them, admire them, and from a distance. Cheers guys, get wild.